Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, we all know that Keir Starmer is not a man who stands by anything he says. First of all, he says a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man. Then he says most women don't have penises. And then he says, no, eventually, all women don't have penises, only men have penises for now. He's a man who changes his mind on immigration, a man who changes his mind on tax, and now a man who cannot even decide on whether 1 child, 2 child, 3 child, or whatever the limit is for benefits. Because just last week, in fact just in the last week, not even last week, just back on Tuesday it was, he confirmed that the Labour Party would be keeping the 2 child cap for child allowance because it couldn't afford to go to 3. Literally didn't have the money. He's admitted this. Doesn't want it. He says it is the Tory policy, but for now it's got to be kept. Until yesterday, when he spoke to Anna Sarwar, and now he said, I will listen to scrapping it. Why should anyone vote for a man who changes his mind time after time after time, who cannot commit to any policy, and who therefore, after presenting his manifesto, is basically saying, yeah, it's a manifesto, but I've got no intention of doing anything on it, and you cannot believe anything that comes out of my lying mouth. He's a man without a spine. He blows in the wind, and whatever the way it's going is the way he will go. He will bend over, literally, to accept anything that's given to him, because he is not a man. He is a glove puppet. The only thing is, of course, he won't be Prime Minister for long. Angela Ranger is getting ready to take over. Let's have a look. So, Keir Starmer says he will, quote, listen to Anna Sarwar on scrapping the 2 child benefit cap. The trouble with Keir Starmer is he listens to everyone and then agrees with what they say. He's a man without direction. He's a man who doesn't know what he wants. He just sits there and goes, yes, to whoever he's speaking to. And it may be people on one side saying do this, on the other side saying don't do that. And the first one says, yes, I'll do it. And then they go, no, I won't do it. He has the opinion of the last person. And so these opinions can be diametrically opposite. And that's the problem. He's a waving in the wind. He's a little jellyfish without direction, without a viewpoint, without a personality, really. He can't say, this is what I believe in and this is what I'm sticking to. And as I say, 4 days ago, oh yes, we've definitely got to keep the 2 child cap. Can't afford not to. Definitely. Anna Sarwar says, got to get rid of it. Yeah, we're definitely going to get rid of it. Why, Annis? Why do you want rid of it? He says, because certain people have more than 2 children, more than other groups of people. I'll leave that one hanging there. Anyway, Keir Starmer said he will listen to Scottish Labour leader Anna Sarwar on scrapping the 2 child benefit cap that he promised to keep. The would-be Prime Minister, for a very, very short period of time, till Angela Rayner takes over, also said it is ambition to lift millions of children out of poverty if Labour wins the July the 4th election. Now, the trouble is with Labour, every time they come to power, they put millions into poverty. Remember last time, the note on the desk, sorry, no money left, we've spent it all. No Labour government has ever left office with the country richer than when they came in. Polls showed Labour is on the verge to a return to power for the first time since 2010. You'd think people would learn, but alas, not. However, Starmer has been criticised by anti-poverty groups and the SNP for not backing the abolition of the Tory government's 2 child cap. You can lift people out of poverty without having to increase child allowance or any 2 child cap or anything. You can look at what their income is. You can say this is the minimum income and then top up benefits to meet it. Work out what the minimum income is that you need to live. Make sure every household has that. You don't need a cap or anything. You just go, boom, that's the number. It's the way it's moving to. They are moving to this universal basic income. And it's going to be around £500 a week. What's the problem? Anyway, Sarwar has previously said he and Scottish Labour MPs would press the Starmer... Sarwar has said previously that he and Scottish Labour MPs would press a Starmer government to axe the cap if Labour is in power. So what you've got is the two parties of Labour and Scottish Labour, Labour in London saying we need to keep the 2-child cap. Labour in Scotland saying you got to get rid of it. And Labour in Scotland, the bigger party, going, okay, and being obedient. Again, tail wagging the dog. Now, personally, I don't know what the answer is. I can see the realism of a 2-child cap. After all, children are a choice. They aren't foisted upon you, except in very occasional cases. But for most people, children are a choice. And if you're in a position where you can't afford a child, you have to ask, why are you having one? I mean, that's just from a sort of pragmatic point of view. I understand from a humane point of view, children are expensive. And as I say, maybe there is the call for this, universal level. Everyone earns this minimum that goes into a house. Now, if you are in that and you're going, I still can't live on it, you have to look at the choices of what you're spending on. You smoking? Yeah, no. And you're drinking? Yeah, and you got this. And, oh, look, you got the latest iPhone and lots of tattoos. And that. Well, you're making your choice. Can't spend it twice. And if you're doing all that and your children are still in poverty, perhaps your children need to be removed from you. You're obviously bad parenting. Seems a bit harsh, but at the end of the day, if you've got to look after your children, and if your latest model iPhone is more important than feeding your child, then you're just not an adequately good enough parent, are you? Anyway, asked what his response would be to Sarwar's pleas, Starmer told The Record to listen to what he has to say, as I always do, and listen to what I hope will be Labour MPs. I don't have a magic wand. He pretends he does, though. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do something else. You're going to do none of the sort. You're going to attempt it, and then it's going to fail spectacularly. Only you won't be doing it. Angela Rayner will be doing it. And remember, this is a woman of very low IQ. This is a woman who can barely read and write. This is a woman who has no understanding of economics and who will be the next Labour Prime Minister after Starmer within weeks. Anyway, we'll round off there. We'll come up and we'll finish. But it is a load of old rubbish. And it just goes to show, really, that Starmer, a man for all seasons and none of them good, wants to please everybody, doesn't he? I'll be your friend at lunchtime, see you in the playground. Because it's childish politics. Make a stance, Starmer. Grow a spine. Coming up. Wishy-washy. A man who doesn't know what he's doing. We need a strong leader. We don't need someone who vacillates, who hums and haws, who bites his nail before making decisions. We need someone who looks at the facts, thinks that's the direction to go, and enacts it straight away. Firm, decisive leadership. You cannot run an economy on the toss of a coin. You cannot run an economy on who was the last person the Prime Minister spoke to. It's weak. And that's the problem. We're going to have a weak leader in the form of Starmer, replaced by a woman whose directions and politics will be so harmful as to turn the country third world. The only hope we have is that something befalls the pair of them and you get someone half decent come up, who actually doesn't want to harm us. But that's the trouble. Politics filled with psychopaths. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. We'll finish there. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video and I'll speak to you later.